guess, how do you see right now that front coming together in terms of pass rush? Is this a team that doesn't have to generate it only from the edge, that you think can come up from the interior as well?
Yeah, I think we've got some good players in there. At the defensive line, I say it all the time, but if you play hard, you got an opportunity. We got some in the insides. You got some big fellas in there, and when big fellas go hard, good luck. So if we can get them to play fast and do what they're doing, I do think we got a solid group in there that can generate from just more than just the edge.
You get to the end of camp. What's the thing right now that jumps out to you as like, this is what I'm most secure in? This is what I think like this defense can hang its hat on.
We're going to play hard. We're going to run to the football, and there's going to be a swarm of Purdue jerseys around the football. I'm confident in that. We've worked through it all fall. We've held the guys accountable to it every day. And there's one thing I'm confident we can hang our hat on. We're going to play really hard. Everything else we'll have to see.
Coach Trump said yesterday that he's wanting to play as many guys as possible at defensive end. Do you feel like you have that kind of quality depth across the defense to where you can rotate and substitute multiple guys in a game?
Yeah, we got some talent there, all positions across the board. Now it comes down to the trust in each other, and we want to play as many guys as possible. But everybody on the field has to trust each other, know each other, and everybody's got to know what they're doing. Now that we're narrowing down things, getting into game week, it's we've got to know our responsibility, know how to communicate, know how to play together. And if you do that, you're going to get on the field. And I think we have several guys at several different depths, positions that can do that. But we got to go put it together this week.
As you guys are evaluating, and this goes back, I guess, now several years for you, but like what kind of athlete you want at nickel? What were the qualities that you value there, maybe over, because there's that balance between corner and safety that you're trying to find?
You're going to think I'm crazy, but you got to go play hard. Like I say it all the time, but we're going to look at the best 11 guys that play the hardest, and we're going to put them on the field. And if you happen to fall in the nickel spot, I'm going to look at your skill sets. We as a defensive coach staff are going to look at your skill sets, and we're going to have you do that. So I can't necessarily say, is it going to be a cornerish that can go cover man-to-man, or is it going to be a big linebacker that can go play the box? That's not necessarily how we do it. We're going to go find the players and get the best 11 out there. Whoever ends up at the nickel position, we're going to play to his strong suits, and we're going to play to his strengths. I'm not going to put somebody out there to do something that it's not their best asset. And if we ever do that, we're going to help them and protect them. We're not necessarily looking for a specific individual, but I know two guys that play the position. There's three. I know Smiley. You got Coffee at times. You got Stu at times. We had a competition in spring, and I know Coffee and Stu for 2 of the weeks. Competition in fall. For 2 of the weeks, it was determined they were the hardest playing players on our defense. We got metrics that we judge it off of. So, there you go. The 2 of the nickels were the hardest playing players on our defense over fall camp. So if you can do that, we're going to put you in position to do what you're good at.
So the 2 hardest playing, they were the top?
There was another one. But for the first 2 weeks, those were, we had a lot of metrics we judge based off of, a lot of things that we're looking for. We watch every single play, every person, and if you change speeds or you start walking or you loaf, you're not going to end up in that category that they're in. So they played hard.
Can you say who the other person was?
Manny Powell.
How do you feel about your linebackers, Manny Powell, those guys, Sanford,
I love the guys. I love the guys because they're willing to work and they want to be better. They take coaching. I'm hard on them, and they accept it, and they try and get better. We have a long way to go. Not a ton of past experience in that room. So we have a lot of work to do as a group. But I'm very happy with how they've progressed and where they're at. But we still got a ways to go.
How much does it help for you? You've worked with him now for years, but to have a guy who's a former linebackers coach, a former linebacker, a former coordinator as your head coach that you can bounce ideas off of? Yeah,
I'm very comfortable with it. I don't get scared to go in and ask him of something, and I know that if he sees something he doesn't like, he's going to tell me. And it's not coming from a place of anything other than what is best for our team. I know that. I respect that. He knows what we're doing. He can see what we're doing. A lot of stuff that when he coached me that we did. It helps a lot just from we can be honest with each other. no matter what it is, and I don't take it personally. He doesn't take anything personally. We know that we're in this together, and so it helps. I mean, he coached me. And you got a coach. Your coach is always trying to help you any way they can. So from there to wherever I'm at, we have trust in each other, and you can speak freely and talk to each other. So I think that's where probably the most it helps.
How's that developed over time? And have you felt him placing, I guess, additional trust in you? I mean, not just naming you defensive coordinator, but putting more on your plate or deferring.
Yeah, but it's familiarity. He runs a program. You know what I mean? He's got a program that he's developed, that he's made, and he runs it. And I'm very familiar with it, from being a player to being a coach now, being a GA, being an analyst, being a linebackers coach, being the coordinator. I've been at every step of those with him, and the program looks a lot different when you're in each of those roles. I know each of those roles. I understand what he expects out of those roles, and I think that's the part that helps the most. Is he knows that I know what he expects, and so if I'm not doing it, he'll get on me, and hopefully he doesn't ever have to get on me because I'm doing what he expects.
Any surprise guys out at camp, Mike? Diamonds in the rough, people who caught your eye that have really made a move that people should be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chops. He's had a really good fall. Big guy in the middle there really helps a lot. He's a big dude, and when he plays with effort, he's hard to hold down in there. TJ Lindsey's another guy who's done well in the inside. And then, I think some of the linebackers like Sanders Ellis and Charles and Sanford that don't get mentioned, they've done a good job in improving. And then you got guys in the corner like Hines who have really stepped up, done well. And then, another guy on the D-line, maybe Ian Jeffries. He's been a new guy that's really, provided a little bit more depth for us, and he's going to provide some help for us this year.